Burn Racing is a simple, fun and addictive mix of old school charm and modern day presentation. Now, I covered the game engine and team in detail with my technical review thanks to review code at launch. Well, since then it's had a few patches and updates, one of them being the Pro, which hit launch, and some extra free tracks, something I raised in the review would help expand the game's value and reach, along with even more race modes, and also via a new £1.99 DLC pack, a brand new set of vehicles in the Elite pack. Hovercraft meets Ferrari in this new set that can be used across all the launch 12 tracks and the additional 4 new sets of tracks, giving a total of 16, which can also be raced in reverse. You can choose this in a 9-season long single player career mode, earning points and spending on modifications. If that's not good enough, then you can simply jump online and play with up to 8 players, or use the split screen action on the same console. AI is good in the game and actually makes mistakes like humans, which makes racing feel much more fun than other titles I've played recently. Now, the new addition in Spotlight mode is my new favourite, and it really ramps up the tension and urgency in the skill. But after covering the PS4 version, this is a look at the Pro release with the extra free and cheap new vehicle class now added. Now, that version runs at a native 1080p and 60 frames per second, along with an additional 2x MSA pass on geometry, giving a very clean title overall. But on the Pro, this is ramped up to a native 4K resolution at the same 60 FPS. The only cost is the loss of the MSA solution, but this is not an issue. With 4 times the pixel count, it is still much sharper on a HD or more so on a 4K screen. Native 4K was not always on the cards. The team did experiment with various other options open to devs on this machine. 4K geometry was attempted, along with the ID buffer rooted checkerboard solution, but the team felt these did not quite hit the high levels of IQ they had in mind with their targets at the start, pushing on with other changes and hardware choices to get a native 4K 60 output, not a mean feat. But does all this additional resource request come at the cost of performance? No, it's very solid indeed, and the team did use 16-bit shader code changes specifically for the Pro to achieve these incredibly high results. Now, I did have a chance to chat to the team and learn more about the changes, Pro coding, and how multi-platform development is affecting them or not with the new advent of tiered console hardware, including the up-and-coming Microsoft Scorpio. Now, you can read this on my website with a link below and on screen. Now, like the base PS4 version, it holds onto the 60 FPS rate in single player with no drama at all, never dipping or skipping at any point from my tested sections and my hours of playing the title as a whole. Now, the 2-player split screen did have a few wavers and dip when I tested it back at launch, but it's been patched on both versions, and like the base PS4, the PS4 Pro in 4K holds on to 60 at 4K with no issues at all. Now, this is a very commendable achievement to hit near identical performance levels as base hardware at 4 times the fill rate, but only 2.3 times the raw power boost. Now, as you can see on screen with examples, some small sacrifices to the particle system and also the AA one mentioned already may have helped slightly here. Now, I have covered many times the double rate half precision maths option open to teams with the Pro. Now, it only helps in certain areas, and it would have been a factor here in this impressive leap, but it's no such thing as a silver bullet, and it won't fix every part of your pipeline or even be used everywhere. Now, beyond the 2-player, the frame rate is cut to 30 FPS to keep the same 4K resolution and allow up to 4 of you to race. Now, this is the best option, as dips between these 2 levels would impact the game's controls, response and enjoyment far more, and from my test, it never dips below this level with headroom to spare. Online is solid also and never has any issues at all, but like I said at the beginning, I've only managed to join a very limited amount of games. It really depends on the time of day and your luck with the lobbies. You can mitigate this slightly by creating personal lobbies with friends, and then you can play online and nullify the issue. Some may bemoan the sacrifice from 60 to 30 in these 4-player or 3-player split screen options, but it is the best choice, as the tick rate jump between the two would make it really hard to accept, and it's an obvious sacrifice to make. Now, visually the game is far from lacking. Post effects are strong with great artistic views of track scenery and scale through the use of a focal point depth of field. Particle effects are richly used for collisions, smoke and the new snow levels. Physics is a core part of the engine, and these cover the vehicle various levels of handling as they skid, boost and drift around the track. Breaking through barriers again causes splintered parts to spin off and away. The snow level adds much more challenge with this now, with grip levels varying in the race, going from snow, dirt and back again. The skill and dexterity needed to control them is a satisfying challenge, one which does appeal to my nature. Another is the fast pick up and put down nature of the game. The fact you can jump in for 10-15 minutes and then put it down does again work for my kind of lifestyle. Now, sound must also get a special mention, with a rousing techno soundtrack that accompanies each track and helps fuel your adrenaline levels. Special mention must go to the new track, which is now my favourite area in the snow. It really fits the tempo of the game and works wonders to drive on the skill in all game modes. Definitely my favourite of musician Robert Paul Allen's list of tracks in the game. Sadly though, I still detest the main menu one that you hear the most. But you can't win them all, right? The team have had a long life in multi-platform games and have added, improved and changed their own engine for each title as driven by the designer's gameplay needs. In this modern age of the deferred renderer is the only option, this game proves that forward rendering based titles are still more than a challenge and can stretch their legs in this new 4K era. It can also be enjoyed on PC and Xbox One, and possibly will even see a 4K patch on Scorpio once it lands on the shelves. This is more than a bargain price for the content, £12.99 or around $14-15. Fun and quality, the game offers up all of these things and more, and along with free DLC, which is sadly still a very rare thing nowadays. The team should be applauded and rewarded for adding such a rich set of new tracks and modes that more than stack up with the quality it's shipped with. A fast, skilled and fun racer that is also one of a few titles to see a native 4K level, even more so at 60 FPS. If you want to learn more on the team and the engine, then please read the interview and more details on my site along with the review. It can still have some small elements of specular aliasing in the menu screen, but this is minimal. By and large, it's an absolutely eye-watery, sharp image quality, and on a 4K screen, it looks very impressive indeed with good use of post-effects, colour and texture quality. It's a pretty looking title and one that shows off the Pro's benefits quite well with its native 4K 60Hz resolution and frame rate. Anyway, that's it. If you enjoyed this or the interview on the website or anything else that I've put together for you guys and girls, then please feel free to subscribe, share and talk about it below. Always innovate, never imitate. I'll catch you on the next one.